lounging, son.
Welcome back to the Comic Lounge. My name's Ryan, and today I'm going to be talking about, yes, you guessed it, another Shelley Bond curated project, Insider Art. Compendium of comics, crafts, and cats, and it's over 250 pages, and it's all ages. The only downside to this, what I'm about to share, is that the only way you can get this in print is if you back the Kickstarter or if your local retailer happens to have copies of this in print. It is available digitally, and I will drop the links on how to get that down below. So it's not impossible to get, but if you do want it in print, you'd have to get it from a retailer that backed the project on Kickstarter. My shop, Collector's Paradise, in Winnetka, California, we have copies at the shop because I made sure to have my manager back this project because I believed in it. Anything Shelley Bond has her name attached to, you know it's worth your time, and you're gonna get more than your money's worth out of whatever project she's backing or whatever project she's a part of. She's one of my favorite editors, if not, no, actually, I think she is. She's my favorite editor in comics. She's responsible for so many projects that have been brought to life thanks to her support and her belief in them. And this project, especially, what it meant in a time of unrest in the pandemic. This was created to raise money for retail, female and non-binary retailers during, the closure basically of the entire comic industry, with no comics being brought to shops having to close down. This was a way for creatives to kind of have an outlet with their creativity and to do something good and help people that needed it, especially like with the shops and how difficult it was to kind of stay afloat during the difficult time. This originally was just supposed to be a digital book, but with the demand and everybody wanted it in print, Shelley and Chris Simon, one of the other editors on the book, really helped bring this to life. I wanted to help in some way. So luckily, I was able to help kind of with social media, kind of help get the word out there, kind of pump up the press, stuff like that. And I even went all the way down to Long Beach to pick the books up. And, I would do it all over again. It was a lot of fun helping out. And like I said, that this isn't just Shelley Bond, right? It's a group of editors. And first off, it's 150 creators from around the world. Cover art and logo design was by Sophie Dodson, also one of the editors. Design and creative direction was Shelley Bond. Proofreading was by Arlene Lowe. Managing editor Mariah McCourt. And the editors in order of appearance is Chrissy Williams, Elizabeth Bray, Megan Brown, Nicole Booth, Chris Simon, Maria McCourt, Sophie Dodson, and of course Shelley Bond. Retailer liaison Jen King. What I really think is cool is that this is broken down into the different rooms in a house. We get the bedroom, basement, bathroom, kitchen, attic, craft room, garage, living room, and then at the end of this, we're also going to have a behind the panel borders where we get some thoughts from the editors, the cutting room floor, and all the people that helped, the Kickstarter and backing this awesome project. I don't want to spoil this too much. I'm just gonna share some of my favorite things, and while also talking about how this, much like the last project that Shelley did through Kickstarter, Hey Amateur, it's also enabled me to discover so many new creatives that were not on my radar that I did not know. I'm looking forward to being able to, maybe interview some of these creatives for the channel because I'm a huge fan of everything that's in this book. I absolutely love this book. I think it's so cool, and the fact that you can share with your kids, there's activities, recipes, all sorts of stuff in here, man. Just stuff to keep you busy when you're locked inside, right? So first off, we get the bedroom, and this was edited by Chrissy Williams. I really love this story by Emma Vicelli. I think this is really cool. It's, just a brother and sister playing pretend. Story by Kate Brown. Got a little quilt design in here by Rebecca Strickson. Idle Hands by Sarah Gordon. Thought this was pretty cool. You know, getting scared of noises when you're sitting in the dark. This one was really cool too because we got some prose stories in here. Story by Angela Cleland, art by Stephanie Hans, who you guys I'm sure all know from Die and all her amazing covers that she does. And there's just varying styles in here. Like no artist is alike. Every single artist has their own unique aesthetic to them. The execution of them, because it's like 2 to 3 page stories, maybe 4 pages, but they're all done in a way that it doesn't feel like it's too short or too long. Like they're just right. They're just the right amount of pages. Really love Lauren Knight's art here. And Sophie Dawson colored a lot of this stuff, which she colors. She new colorist on Bitterroot. She started with volume 2, quickly becoming one of my favorite colorists. Kayla Klein with her opening and closing pages for The Basement. Really enjoyed this section as well. Elizabeth Bray, Megan Brown are the co-editors on The Basement. I can't relate to basements because I live in LA. We don't have basements out here, so but I've always kind of wanted one, you know, growing up, so I can kind of live vicariously through these stories and through the experiences that these creators are sharing. This is another cool thing, you know, anybody that has a kid knows that being stuck in the house, they can get bored very quickly. And I can't tell you how many times my daughter has asked me to make stuff out of cardboard, and I couldn't tell you how to do it. But now I got the blueprints. I got the blueprints on how to make a dollhouse, thanks to Delilah Dawson and Andrea Rosales. Probably going to be doing that with her, like this, little, you know, Dungeons and Dragons down in the basement. How to Find Your Rhythm by Celeste Bronfman and Kate Sharon. This is pretty funny too. It's you know, like they're young and like they're into each other. The dog's not feeling it, so he has to get in the middle, and then he ends up falling for the guy too because of his music. I thought that's a cute little story. How to do pretty potato prints. This is another cool little craft thing that you can do, cutting a potato and make stamps out of the potato. I never would have thought to do that, but again, Delilah Dawson, Andrea Rosales with the awesome crafts. Love this, discovering old photos of your family, like in the basement. I thought this was a cool little story too by Kim Demel. Now we're headed to the bathroom. Cole Booth, editor on here. And each room, like, you'd think, like, how do I write a story based on that room? And I think that was a pretty cool way to attack, you know, each chapter, each break in the book was by dividing a house into rooms and how you can find activities there, tell stories there. It's just fun little things to make, you know, to engage the reader, whoever's reading this, you know, no matter how old you are, how young you are. And this is something that, like I said, you can go back to over and over again. And thank God we got these French flaps because you can bookmark your favorite pages, so you're always on top of it. Also, how to take a perfect selfie with Laura Jones, Sequoia Bostic, Erica Schultz on letters, Liana Kangas, and Gab Contreras and Erica Schultz on letters here. The bath and rituals, kind of funny too. I like that. Another prose story. So this book's got a little something for everyone. You know what I mean? And I think that's why I really believed in this book. And I think that these women, these editors that helped bring this book to life, it's just so admirable and it's so inspiring, man. And I thank them, man. Apple pie recipe. This is my section right here. I'm a cook, so this is speaking right to me. And Chris Simon, she's the editor on the kitchen section. I love this. Mindful Meditations and Coffee Ritual by Carolyn Carter. I really like this. I love my coffee, and having like a little meditation ritual with that, I think is a brilliant idea. Definitely something I want to implement. This was cool too. A recipe for vintage mixed media art journal page. This is something I definitely want to try out. Got some more recipes on how to make flatbread, how to make beer bread, banana bread, biscuits. I mean, dude, like this will keep you busy, man. Baking, like I love this. This is probably my one of my favorite sections in this book. The different brews with like the different herbs and like what they do for you and how like the antiviral stuff, chamomile, cinnamon, catnip, eucalyptus, echinacea, thyme. Like I knew some of the things that these herbs are good for with you, but there's some things I definitely learned from here. And you know, Chris Simon wrote this down. Leslie Nesbitt did the pictures. Pickled ginger, that's pretty fucking dope. Like it's definitely something I want to try. Beetroot pickled eggs. I don't drink, but we got a recipe for a Bloody Mary here. Banh mi, Vietnamese sandwich, Burmese chicken curry. I mean, shit, even just for the recipes alone, this book is worth it. I mean, egg pasta, how to make a quiche. There's just so much in here, man. Like this too, this kitchen gratitude page for all the farm workers, bakers, all this stuff, restaurant staff, coffee roaster, all this. Thanking all the people that are in the any aspects of the food industry. I thought that was really cool. We got buttermilk bread. Oh man, it's making me hungry just looking at it. Now we're getting to the attic. Mariah McCourt's the editor on that. Again, I don't have an attic either. I always, you know, as a kid would like dream of like, oh man, I wish I could have like my room in an attic and kind of like a hideaway, discovering stuff. You know, it's you know kind of like the basement. You know what I mean? But a little bit different. I mean, you could have an attic in California. You can't have a basement with the earthquakes, though. Discovering stuff about a family member you didn't know, going to the attic, like I said, like that's something I always like. Oh man, I'd love to like go in an old family member's attic and like discover stuff. You know, hidden treasure. Always thought that would be cool. Going on an imaginary adventure up in the attic. This is really cool by Miriam Bloom. Jody Hauser, Little Pros. Behind the attic door. Now we got the craft room. And who else is going to do it? But the craft room editor, Sophie Dodson. I mean, I've done an interview with her as well, and she's a woman of many talents. Coloring. I mean, she's edited this room. She brought in all these like creatives in here that aren't even necessarily a part of comics. She makes costumes. She makes all sorts of cool stuff. And you will learn how to make a lot of cool stuff in this section as well. How to do lockdown theater, you know, escaping into an imaginary world, how to create like homemade puppet theater. Like that's awesome. How to do folk art by Anna Pachelski. This is dope too. I looked her up and man, she makes some really awesome paper mache stuff. Mexican papel picado banner instructions, lockdown merit badges, that by Beth Wood. How to make an 8-page zine from a single sheet by Laura Hull. I mean, dude, this is awesome. Origami crane. This is a page that printed out and like I said, when I was helping you know, helping to get the word out there for the Kickstarter, printed this out. My daughter even did a coloring on this, not on the book, but the printout, and had a picture of her helping to promote the book. Kind of got her involved. This is another thing that I know I'm going to be doing with my daughter. Cardboard and felt crafts. How to make a cardboard shop. How to do a cardboard felt garden. Cardboard dollhouse bunk bed. I mean, this is just... Mariah McCourt, you know, another editor on this book. Like, she gave us the lowdown on how to do all that. Isolation poem. How to make... how to make socks stars. Got a David Bowie sock puppet, Madonna, Jimi Hendrix, Kurt Cobain. So this is pretty cool too. Got editor extraordinaire Ellie Bond. How to make a teddy bear. And I got a few of these in my collection. She gifted those to my daughter, which was my daughter absolutely loved. These are really cool and relatively easy to make. Shelly actually, I believe, she's making them and selling them, I think, on her Etsy store, which I'll try to find a link of that too and throw that down below. How to make awesome masks by Sophie Dodson. How to make a piñata, some 3D hand lettering tips. And now we are at the garage with Shelly Bond. Now we're at the garage. Editor Shelley Vaughn. Her favorite her favorite spot in the house. She picked this. Of course, she's a huge music head, so she's loves garage bands, and it was a no brainer she was going to take this. I like this first story too by Rachel Smith, about a younger sister trying to like get at her older sister, and she makes a museum of Mean Moira, and she's like collecting stuff, and then by the end of it, they realize they have more in common than they realize, and I thought that was a cool little story. How to Record an Industrial Album in Your Garage by Terry Castro and Carrie Mcnich. Got a brief history of garage rock by China Cluxton Flores, which is really dope. Getting to see like all these different moments in garage band history. What you need to start your own garage band. You got Mod Libs by Shelley Vaughn and China Cluxton Flores. Really, really loved this one too. This one was written by Cindy Whitehead and drawn by Lola the Illustrator. And Cindy Whitehead's a professional skateboarder. She does a lot of cool stuff. And Lola the Illustrator is probably one of the youngest, if not the youngest, creative in here. She's does some really dope stuff. And she was also part of Hey Amateur, which is where I first discovered her art. Highly recommend you guys go follow her. This one was really fucking cool. Magdalene Visaggio and Persephone Cavalanes. This was pretty cool. Like the messiness of a garage, called Premonition. Don't see the... Oh, by Cat Sims. Cat Sims is the one that wrote and drew this. I really enjoyed that one as well. We got Abby James, Ring Pop Jungle Thief. And then Vita Ayala and Sally Cantrino, with colors by Gab Contreras. They created a board game. So you're probably wondering, how am I supposed to play this game in this book? Well, you can go to the website insiderart.net and you can download, print, cut, and paste and create your own legit garage land. It's a live game. And then behind here, you got the 4 factions, you got the pieces, even tells you how to assemble it. So, I mean, this is really cool too. I'm probably going to print that out. Got all the rules and how to win the game. And last but not least, we are at the living room. Jen King, the retailer liaison, and all the editors came together for this. You got the Make Your Own 9-panel comic, Tame Your Elephant, Hold Your Butterflies, and Calm Your Mind. This one's really cool. It's a cute little story by Terry Castro and Eugenia Kumaki. What to Do with Your Cats. Stuck Inside by Teeny Howard and Sarah Stern. How to Write a Fun Quiz. Busy Boxes, Easy at-Home Crafts by Laura Jones and Sequoia Bostic. We got a Cardboard Marble Run, Sandy Treasure Hunt, Paper Doll Puppet Theater, Mess-Free Coloring Time, Bubble Painting, Magic Wands, all sorts of stuff that you can do, more crafts. 6 magic tricks you can practice at home by Tegan Phillips, really cool. And then back here, we got all the editors giving their thoughts on this awesome project. Don't glance over this. This is really cool to get their thoughts on bringing this together. And got the cutting room floor, some of the stuff that they didn't have in the book. All the contributors, everybody that helped to bring this book, all the women, non-binary creatives that helped bring this to life, and where you can follow them online on their social media accounts. Highly recommend you check all of them out because they are all super talented. Got all the thank yous. Got my little shout out right there. And yeah, dude, this is an awesome book. This is where you can purchase the digital one at gumroad.com/insiderart. I will throw the links down below though as well. Don't trip. This is an awesome book, and if you can still find a print copy, like I said, Collector's Paradise at Winnetka, where I work, we have copies still. You can find it on comicsandcards.net, and I'll throw that link down below too. And you guys can order. We do ship orders out, so I think we have like 4 copies left. Pick it up there. If not, you're cool with the digital copy. You can get that as well, and I'll throw those links down. And If you're not already following us, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at The Comic Lounge. Throw your comments or suggestions down below or email us thecomicloungepod@gmail.com. Like, follow, and subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you're notified every time a new video goes up. And on that note, I'm out.